Welcome to the recap of the Yankees 2010 season. We'll quickly touch base on the Yankees' first half in 2010, starting up here with the preseason expectations. Preseason expectations for the Yankees in 2010 were, of course, to win another World Series. As the Yankees came in off 2009 campaign that brought them their first World Series in many years. They brought in some big players this year season. They brought in Granderson, brought in some new pitching, new chemistry. And what were your expectations coming into the 2010 season?
Well, it was if the Yankees were going to be able to stay hungry after coming off a World Series win. And to this point, it looks like they have. They were the first team to 50 wins, and they got a 2-game lead in probably one of the best divisions in baseball.
I would say so. And that also brings me to one of my first preseason questions for the Yankees, were how would they deal with the expectations of winning a ring, and would they be hungry for the next one? Next question, of course, was the Jabba experiment. How would they handle the innings limits and the Jabba rules? And, of course, question number 3, are the Yankees too old for their own good?
Going to the Jabba experiment, to this point, he's been a reliever. Coming out of preseason, they weren't sure. It was between him and Hughes. Hughes has done a wonderful job to this point. Jabba, not so much. The fist pumping and the twirl fists are not too good with a 5.09 ERA. And in terms of if the Yankees are too old, they've had quite a bit of injuries, but the depth on this team has compensated.
Sure has. And to show you that point, we'll show you a little quick first half recap here. The Yankees, after their first 81 games, own the best record in baseball at 50-31. They're on pace for 100 wins and have their best start since 2004. It's their 11th time in the franchise history that the team has won at least 50 games at the 81-game mark. They've had lots of comeback wins so far, the Yankees. They lead the American League with 24 come from behind wins, and they led the majors with 51 in 2009. Big part of their success this year, they have 3 pitchers with 10 wins, CC, Pettit, and Hughes. It's the 4th trio of Yankees in the past 50 years to have 10 wins by the All-Star break. A big part of their success this year has also been their ability to limit their losing streaks. Their longest losing streak of the year so far has been 3 games. And also, of course, to win constant series. They're 19-7-1 series this year.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the pluses and minuses of the Yankee season. One of the main pluses, which goes along with longest losing streak only being 3 games, has been their excellent pitching from Hughes and Pettit. CC has been himself, but Vasquez and Burnett have gone through some pretty bad stretches. But since Hughes and Pettit have both put together excellent years, those streaks of bad pitching of Vasquez and Burnett have gone unnoticed.
Absolutely. So huge first half from Hughes and Pettit. We'll see if they can continue that in the second half.
Second plus mark would be Robinson Cano.
Robbie, what do you know, Robbie Cano?
Finally coming into form, leading the league in batting, 16 home runs. What's he got, like 56 RBIs? He's been excellent, just like Hughes and Pettit. He has disguised an awful year from Teixeira.
How good has Cano been, you ask? Cano tied for the the American League lead in hits with 109 at the 81-game mark. He ranks second in the majors with a 343 batting average. He's tied for second in the American League with multi-hit games, tied for third in runs scored. And Elias is noting that he's the first Yankees left-hander with at least 10 home runs off left-handed pitching in consecutive seasons since Reggie Jackson, in fact.
And also, we have to mention that his fielding has been excellent as well.
All right, a few minuses of the Yankees' first half because it's not all pinstripes and rainbows in Yankees world. They obviously had some bullpen struggles in the first half, and of course, outside of the master Mariano Rivera.
As mentioned before, Job has got a 5 ERA. Robertson's ERA has not been well, but as I said before, with the Yankees' depth and Hughes and Pettit, their starting pitching has been so good for the first half of the year that the bullpen woes have not really hurt them. Yeah. But this is something that can be exploited in the playoffs against good teams.
Well, of course, you could always add a starter to the pen in the playoffs, but I think that's definitely a concern they're going to have to address. How will they handle the bullpen struggles, and will they give Jabba a defined role in the pen? Another big negative in the first half was absolutely Mark Teixeira's absolutely abysmal start to the season.
He started off pretty bad. I mean, he's doing better as of late. Now he has 14 home runs and 54 RBIs, which is more than respectable. But a 240 batting average, and he was batting south of 220 for most of the year. But once again, with the excellent play of Robinson Cano and Swisher and Gardner, if you throw them in there, it hasn't hurt the Yankees much. Which makes the Yankees one of the best teams in the league, how much depth they can have that Teixeira can struggle for a whole half.
Yes, I think that's a big theme for the first half of the year for the Yankees is being able to mask poor performances by key players. So some second half questions for this team, for the New York Yankees. What do they need to do to get on pace to become a 2010 world champion like they were in 2009? First question, of course, how will their entire pitching staff perform in the second half? You had some questionable performances by Vasquez and Burnett in the first half.
Just to add on to that, Burnett had the worst statistical month for a Yankee starter in history by going 0-5 with a 12 ERA last month.
Pretty disgusting. So we'll see if Vasquez is going to be his old Yankee self in the second half, or will he continue to pitch as he has recently. He pitched pretty well in June, to about a 3.5 ERA, I believe. So we'll see if he can continue that trend. We'll see if they need bullpen help, if they'll go out and make a trade. Maybe Cashman will get on the phone, see if they could bring in a bona fide eighth inning guy to help out that pen, and of course also help out the starters by making them go shorter in the games. Another question, of course, is will Posada be healthy enough to catch in the second half, or is he now a full-time DH? It's definitely a valid question at this point. Posada has not been starting many games behind the dish. He's got that foot problem, and
a lot of nagging injuries. A lot of nagging injuries for Posada to this point. But once again, we talked about the Yankees are a team that, because of their depth, a lot of things have been hidden, and Cervelli has done an excellent job filling in. He was playing out of his mind the first month and a half. It's kind of cooled down, but he's done a decent job behind the plate, and Posada's absence hasn't been noticed as much as it would have in the past.
Yep, I agree so. So now that we've answered the second half questions for the New York Yankees, let's talk about some predictions for the 2010 second half and potential postseason. Is there a postseason for the second half and the Yankees in their future? And this baseball analyst is saying absolutely. The Yankees in the second half of the season, after they finish up this current West Coast road trip, will not go any further out than Arlington, Texas in the second half, and they play 54% of their games at home. Most of those games are against inferior teams, as almost everyone is in the American League. So definitely I'm seeing the Yankees as a close to 100-win team. To start the season, they were 98 wins on their under-over. I had them at slight under. I think they're probably right around that, between 98, 99 wins. AL East Division champs.
I agree with you. I think they will win the AL East Division champs. I think they will go deep into the playoffs as well. But it also has to be noted that they could wind up winning 94 games and still not make the playoffs. So Tampa Bay and Boston cannot be taken lightly in the second half of the season. But I do feel that they will come through and make the playoffs and go deep.
All right, so tough division, good team, and there you have it. There's your New York Yankees recap for the first half of the 2010 season. Good luck to all you Yankee fans out there, and we'll catch you soon. Thank you from Maximum Capacity Radio.